Like, we have so much. I feel like, we should do an unedited version of, talking about videos and pictures you get and all of that. But tell us about the really cool things you've done that you're really proud about on a personal as well as professional level.
So let me go personal. Last year, I was able to climb up to 18,500 feet Nepal in Kalapathar. So we went, my family, me and my cousins, we went to Everest Base Camp. I was terrified because, I hadn't really practiced. I mean, I live in Texas, which is the highest elevation in Texas is 748 feet, which is sad. But, that's where I was. And I think that moment, it was one of those days where everyone's like, no one wants to climb that. That my guide and I don't know why I did this as we were climbing. I was like acting as if I could do this. And every single time I'm like, I need to sit there and just breathe so he doesn't think I'm dying by the minute. But you start climbing and then you start realizing, the stars are right in your face and everything around you is just so quiet. It's unpolluted in light or sound or anything else. And no one else was walking in front or behind us at that time. And we walked to the top and there was a team waiting, but they were pinned, like it was so quiet and still because they were just meditating. And as the sun rises and you see all these different mountains light up, and then finally you see Everest light up. I mean, she's not the prettiest mountain in the world, but God, when she lit up, you just go, this is it. This is a moment I'd be okay if I died today. It's that moment of, I don't know, Nepali pride or just being in a mountain, feeling nothing, like feeling that you're so insignificant in this vast world. And all you can do is do your bit. And then a moment of sadness kind of creeps in because you're like, oh my God, I say I'm insignificant, but what I've done has created this mountain in many ways to be so polluted. And people like me have created these places where glaciers are melting and there's whole climate change catastrophe happening in our part of the world because of human beings like me. And then you start realizing you're powerful to be that change too. So I think it was that moment that just like gets you. So I think personal level meant that, but as we were going, and this has been going on for a long time in my mind where I wanted to really work on an animated series. And my nephew was with me, मेरो फुपूको छोरीको छोरा. So we were walking and I started narrating the story and he goes, Kirtana, are you going to write it? And I was like, yep. So I come home and I started writing the script for it. And then I go and pitch it. And then I pitch it to the Women in Film and Television International Competition and win the Development Award. So right now I'm working on a script about a Nepali girl in the mountains trying to it's a Nepali girl with her best friend who's a yak, go in search of her father who has been kind of, buried in an avalanche. But meanwhile, as she's doing that, she faces all these demons and everything. And at the end of the day, it's all about climate change and how it like engulfs it. So that kind of led to that. That's a very big project. So it's just
like, I love that. I can't wait to, see it.
Me too. But yeah, that's been like the longest project right now that I've been working on. And it's not even like, I wouldn't even say, it hasn't even begun because I'm still writing. So that in terms of Nepali, that's one. The other Nepali feature I'm writing on is about and that's also in pitch mode right now. It's about a older widow who comes to live with her family here in the U.S. After her husband dies. And it's just this beautiful family dynamic. And, she's trying to figure out the U.S. and she doesn't speak English. She kind of has like she breaks her hip and has to be put through physical therapy. But the daughter-in-law is, a top CEO, doesn't have time. The son says he cannot really do it. So I kind of shifted gears a little bit because usually no matter what, our women are incredible. Like they're able to juggle a million things. Yet sometimes when that same responsibility comes to a man, not necessarily are they able to do it. So they kind of put her in a physical therapy home, and she's now navigating through life, and she develops these friendships despite speaking different languages. Has an interpreter that comes and helps her out, and finally is able to figure some things out. So that I think should be complete next year. Putting a call out to Nepali women who are actresses in the US. If you're here and you're interested, I really would like you to audition. I want women that are over the age of 65 to audition, nothing younger than that. Because I think that's also another place where we lack in telling stories about our older people. So Nepali Duita Payo. And then, of course, I co-founded the Nepal America Film Society with the International Film Festival in Maryland, which has been running for 6 years successfully. So it's been incredible to connect with Nepali filmmakers there too. But outside of the Nepali thing, besides South Asian House, I'm really excited about my feature coming out, which is called Where the Stars Are. It's written by Andy Yang. It's a Banskota Productions home production, built in Austin, made by Austin, for Austinites. 95% of my cast is Asian American Pacific Islander. 90% of my crew are AAPI and peers, like person of color. Has 3 original songs. The trailer releases on September 5th. The poster is already out there. It's a very indie film, really low budget, but it's got this like beautiful story about migration, in the sense where your parents came here with a dream and they expect you to follow STEM, or they expect you to follow certain aspects and goals in life because that's what they think is the American dream towards happiness. But what their dream might not be your dream, and it clashes between the passion versus the dream. So these two actors who want to be a filmmaker and a musician are really wanting to do that, but the parents keep wanting them to kind of go into engineering / medical school. So very similar to a lot of stories. So that worked out pretty well. Another film that I directed called Premonition is coming out this end of summer. Stars Bill Duke. It's a psych thriller that's based in Dallas. And then I have a couple of other shorts. I work in every genre. So, I've got an LGBTQ short coming out. I have another relationship between an Italian woman and a Hispanic woman. They're neighbors, and there's just conversational short coming out as well. I'm working on another Nepali short. I'm working on a bunch of other films. So there's quite a bit that a feature month, and these are 4 or 5 things that I'm working on really. And then I just announced a pilot series called House of Wu, which is going to be a beast.
No, this is an incredible. Like I said, I'm so proud of you, and I think our community is just going to love it. On our end, we'll do everything to amplify it. I would love for our community members to go see these features when they come out together, and really, really show support, not by just saying that they support, but actually making numbers, watching it, sending feedback and everything else. So we're super, super excited. I think it's incredible.